This is part 2 of reading online, and I'm going to focus on Epic. To get to Epic, you go to getepic.com. And if you are not a user of Epic, Epic has a ton of resources for students. You can see some of the different things that there are for students. If you go up and click the login button in the right hand corner, and then you select students and educators, this will let you get started. You can see I already have a class over here. I strongly suggest, if you don't have an account, start here. We're going to sign up for free. It does not cost for teachers. If you have heard of it before and thought it was Little Primary, they've now extended their resources up through intermediate and middle school levels. So then here, when you get to this page, I strongly suggest just clicking continue with Google. That way you can quickly log in with your Google account. You can certainly use your own email address, but once you're in there, you'll notice it'll be easier as well because you'll want to connect directly with your Google Classroom to pull your student list. So I would suggest continue with Google. Okay, so I am going to go back and I'm going to actually log in at this point so you can see. So you'll notice when you first log in as a teacher, you have a dashboard page. Your class code is over here. I can toggle off the videos, which is nice. I just realized you can do that. You can set a reading level system. You can allow students to create profiles. I leave that off, and you can change your grade level. If you want to add students, which you definitely want to do that, you have two options. You can type their names. They do ask that if you're using first name, maybe use last initial. I would strongly suggest you're not using student's entire name, but you certainly can. If you import Google Classroom, it will go into your Google Classrooms and you can select whatever classroom and pull your students in from there. The really cool thing is when you select a classroom, it lets you individually select students. So if you ever have a new student come and join your Google Classroom, you can go back through this step and just select their name to add them. So once you add students, you can see what they're doing. You can go out to Explore. And when you go out to Explore, you'll notice if I hover over any of the books, I can favorite them, I can assign them to students. I strongly suggest when you're assigning things, keep Epic as something to really just help students enjoy reading, find new things to read, as opposed to making it about taking quizzes. Some students are motivated by the points that let them do certain things within Epic, like change their little badge icon up here, but other students, they just want to read some of the books because there's some pretty cool ones in here. There's a nice selection of comic books. This is explored by third grade. I can quickly change the grade and get even more options. A nice selection of read to me. If I keep scrolling down, you'll notice each one of these then scrolls over even further, and so you get quite a bit of read to me books. Audiobooks, they're just listening to the book. So if you're using the audiobook feature, I would strongly suggest getting the students a paper copy in hand so they can follow along, because it's not going to show the book pages. And then you can also go up to Explore and explore by subject areas. I was pleasantly surprised how many math books there were in here. So just for the subject of money, I click Show More. There's quite a bit. So some great ways to introduce some various math topics for students as well. And then you can further sort by reading level, fiction, nonfiction, language, if there's an end of book quiz. But again, I don't want to make Epic and them excited, and students who are excited about Epic not like Epic simply because they have to take a quiz on every book. So that's Epic. How do you get Epic into Clever? So I'm going to go back to my home page, and the first thing you need to do before you sign out of Epic is you want to make sure you know your class code. So I just like to write it down somewhere, GWR. Okay, so I'm going to take my class code and I'm going to go ahead and sign out at this point so I can get the correct link to give students. So I'm going to click the login button here, and I'm going to click students and educators. This is the page that you're going to link in Clever. So that way students come right to this login page, and after they type in their class code on their account, you'll notice that it will save it for them. So I'm going to take this link, just like I did for Storyline Online. I'm going to right click copy or Control C. I'm going to go back into my Clever. I'm in, I'm in my teacher page, which is the page up here that's shared with all your students. So I click my teacher page and I click add link. And I paste that link in there. I'm going to just call it Epic, but what I'm going to put next to this is I'm going to put my code, because this is only going to be showing on my students' pages. It's not going to show in the whole district. So this code is specific for my students. That way if they forget it, it's always right there in Clever. I'm going to go out to Google. I'm going to go to Google Images and just Google Epic logo. Okay, I got a few things. I might Google Epic reading logo, and I definitely get what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for one that's in a square shape. They tend to show up best in Clever. I'm going to right click, save image as, make sure it's a JPEG or a PNG, and I'm going to save it somewhere on my computer. Then I'm going to go back over to Clever and I'm going to click upload, and I'm going to find my image here, and I'm going to click open, let it upload, and I'm going to click add link. And that's getting Epic up and running.